Hello everybody, my name is Anthnwam. Welcome back to Let's Play Suzerain. Let's continue on from where last left off. So, I accidentally did not have my microphone on, which is why you've already got a little bit into the dialogue tree. But this is basically sort of like I was like 15 seconds, don't worry about it. So the doors to the White Room, like everything else in the Rune Palace's main nerve center, are painted white. I took a deep breath before pushing them open. Time yet for another meeting. At least this time, it was with people who liked me. The attendees rose up from their seats. Mr. President, Joseph nodded. He and Lucien sat down, while David remained standing. Now that you are here, let's talk about our diplomatic strategy. David clears his throat. Mr. President, if I may, I'd like to provide you with a short overview of where we are right now. Okay, go ahead. We successfully passed trade deals with both Wayland and Agnolia, which means that we increase our presence in those regions. These deals are important pieces of leverages and significant first steps into the global arena. We must now look forward into the future. Okay, go on. David sat down, pulled out a few papers, and started going through them as he kept talking. Will and Agnolia were practice runs, so we must now begin improving relationships with greater nations. We need to elevate our international standing, especially with the threat of Rumberg looming. Joseph clears his throat. Mr. President, you know me. I don't trust the helping hands of other countries offer us, for a good reason. But I also know that when those helping hands are necessary, and right now, we need all the help we can get. I've said this over and over, but I repeat it until you get it through your skull. Rumberg will come sooner or later. With the current state of our military, if a Rumberg invasion happens, Sordland will cease to exist. We need allies. We ought to head General Lucien's advice, Mr. President. I trust your assessment, Joseph. Thank you, Mr. President. A military perspective is important, but these deals are about more than just gaining allies. We need to consider the benefits to our economy such deals will provide. Especially if we are still struggling to end a recession. David took a seat and brought out 2 stacks of documents. At the start of our term, I had a comprehensive trade plan laid out. Following the bids from Wayland and Agnolia, we were to pursue potential trade deals with 2 greater nations. Vaxland is one of them. If we can manage to get them to the table, there's much more potential here than in Wayland or Agnolia. Perhaps they are one of those important countries in CSP. Deal with Vaxland will be a ticket to bring Sordland closer to the United Catonian sphere. We should do whatever we can to get him on our side. I agree. Vaxland is certainly powerful enough to deter Rumberg. Moving on to Lesbia. Our southern neighbor is rather sore over our decision to accept financial aid from United Katana, allowing a ship to dock at our naval base in return. Granting those docking rights will essentially give United Katana a foothold in eastern Makopa. It is no wonder ATO feels threatened by the move. In any case, a deal won't be happening with Lesbia, that is for sure. I hope you're not questioning my decisions. Of course not, sir. That is it for the overview. As for the actual content of the trade deal, Lucien pulls out a small notebook and quickly flipped through the pages until he landed on the right one. Looking at my stats here, we have a small tungsten surplus, which makes her an excellent resource for trade. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I need to know your decision before we can proceed. What should we do? Before we say anything, remember what I said. We need allies, not just a trade deal. If Rumberg attacks, we will fall. Begin negotiations with Vaxland. Excellent news. I'll begin at once. That is all I had for today. Thank you for coming. Thank you, gentlemen. Joseph saluted as he left the White Room. Okay. Got some news. Isolated polio cases been seen in Bergia. Polio cases explode, which are definitely 2 different perspectives there. And Rayne visits Vaxland for trade deal. We don't have an option quite yet. And I'm assuming this is just being like, hey, you just decided to meet with them. So next we have a dinner with Justice Isabel, which I believe is they're the leader of the centrist. And we kind of need them on our side. And I feel like if we have 90% support in the National Assembly, you should agree with us. Right? Like, it seems like that's a pretty strong margin there. So Nia Morgana arranged a dinner meeting with Justice Isabel Edmonds this evening. Ahead of dinner, Nia and I met to have a talk. We sat on a table on the 2nd floor of Le Papon, a world-class lesbian restaurant in downtown Hoslord. The whole floor was reserved for us, and the music coming from downstairs was enough to suppress our voices against any potential eavesdropper. I still can't believe Sol came to the vote. I'm sure he was also pressured to justice of the court right after that win. I can't speak any sense in them. What about Justice Edmonds? Do you think we can sway her? Yes, I think she's our best bet. We have a meeting with her now, after all. She's not openly protesting against the old guards, but she has told me about her concerns about them. She certainly is open to dialogue, but also skeptical. She seems to be scared of a potential purge against the court. So you think she's scared of us? She's not entirely scared about the situation, but then again, none of the courts even believed that you would pass the assembly. So maybe she's feeling the pressure on her now, but in any case, we'll discover that soon enough. I mean, what's the atmosphere been like? Most justices don't really talk when I'm around. They don't trust me as I'm an outside member of the court. Only know about 2 justices I mentioned earlier who are with me, so we have 3 votes there. We still need 3 more votes. Isabel can potentially bring 2 to 3 votes. That's why she's on her ticket. The old guards are fanatically opposing your proposal, so I doubt there's any possibility there, but we still need their help if Isabel can't bring exactly the 3 votes we need. What about Huron? I thought we could get to him. Huron is a possibility, yes. I dislike him, but if we really want to be sure, we might need him. A disgrace of justice he is. Okay, let's talk about our next steps. I'm sure Hostler, or not Hostler, Oswald, whatever his name was, Hawk? Either way, I'm sure he's being a jackass, so we don't need to worry about that too much. Well, next step is speaking to Isabel, making sure she votes for her proposal, but also, the waiter approaches us and bowed in respect. How did you decide on the entree, sir? We have a guest coming. We'll wait for her to order. Of course, sir. I'll be around. He went downstairs again, and he took a sip from her glass of water and looked at me. So let's just move on to our plan with Isabel. Let's try not to agitate her when she comes. We won the vote, so she already has pressure on her. But if she feels cornered, we might lose her, so it's important not to put too much pressure on her. Agreed, we shouldn't scare her off. That's for the best. Suddenly, I noticed Justice Isabel Edmonds coming upstairs. She was wearing a plain dark gray dress that hid most of her features. Oh, it's good to see you, Miss Edmonds. Nia got up from her chair to shake Isabel's hand. I'll also stand up for a handshake. Mr. President, it's good to see you. It's good to see you, Justice Edmonds. She took a seat across the table. How was your day, Miss Edmonds? It would normally say good, but this time I will take the liberty to say that it was insanely exhausting. Having court manners again, not that I'm complaining. Suddenly, the waiter approached us. Are you ready to give the orders, sir, madame? I'll have the sauté parley, please, as you wish. Miss Edmonds, I'll have the salad, thank you. And of course, for you, I will take the decision. And I'm gonna take my own unique choice. I'll have the liver. There's a couple of notes in this tiny notebook. I'll be back shortly. I don't know if this is going to make any difference. I feel like ordering the same thing as Miss Edmonds, a little bit weird. And she might be like, oh, he's trying to play up to my likes or something like that. So go back downstairs, leaving us alone for the upper floor again. We want to have a cooperation with you, Mrs. Edmonds. That's very welcome, Mr. President. I want the same thing. She moves herself onto the chair to be more comfortable. First of all, I want to congratulate you on a successful vote in the Grand National Assembly. But it pains me to say the proposal is very low chance of getting through the Supreme Court. And what do you think about the proposal itself? To start, I think it's disrespectful. You're packing it as a democratic reform, yet it smells like an attack against the Supreme Court. Miss Edmonds, you know it's extremist Morgana. The president is aiming to destroy the court and needs us to do so. So why should I vote for a proposal that will take away my immunity as a justice? Was this a promised reform? Impeaching a justice with a decision of the assembly? The same assembly that your party controls, by the way. Don't say this, because that's going to be like, the court has too much power. Don't talk about how much power. I think we need a proper balance of power, Miss Edmonds. Try to see the bigger picture. Proper. You already are trying to take away our right to vote on a constitutional legislator and also open up a way to impeach, are you not? She sighed. At that moment, the waiter came back from downstairs carrying plates of food. After seeing how we were in the middle of a discussion, he averted his eyes as he approached us. He quickly started serving the food and refilled our glasses. He placed a plate of Flansfield-style liver in front of me. It looked and smelled like heaven. I was very hungry. Bon appetit. Thank you. It looks delicious. The waiter bowed to us and quickly went downstairs. We wished each other a good meal as Isabel and Nia slowly started to eat. So, Miss Edmonds, are you still thinking about... Are you still thinking the same about the old guard? Of course. Nothing has changed. That's good. We still have that in common. That doesn't mean I'll accept any proposal the old guards oppose, nor means I'll put the whole court under the bus. The impeachment clause about the justice affects us all, after all. I understand your concerns. I also do not agree with that clause. But we must start somewhere. I'm supporting the president because he made the proposal with good intentions. Isabel took a sip from water and turned to me. Tell me, Mr. President, what are your real intentions? Better democracy. I know that I cannot do a lot, but I'm doing my best to start the change. Kind of like humbling ourselves. Could make sense. I know I can't do a lot, but I'm doing my best to start the change. Starting the change by eliminating justices whenever you want? Is that the change? Why did you include that proposal, knowing that you need our vote? Okay. See, like this, I don't like any of these choices, to be honest. I think they're all bad. I'm gonna go with the second option. I thought you would agree that. I believe, would agree to that. I believe that respectable judges like you are against the old guard. Look, I'm in opposition to them and definitely stand against their dominance, but this is not the way. Let's say this proposal goes through. What is your next move? I don't think eliminated the gold. I mean, this is going to show. I think it's going to show to her that like this might be like abusing her power. I like to ensure the new processes are respected and executed transparently. I see. She took another sip from water and looked at me without saying anything. Like... Miss Edmonds, please help us achieve this victory. We have to be together in this. Perhaps it's the way we must take. Can you explain to me one thing? How come you think that the Supreme Court's right to vote on constitutional judgments is a major problem with such priority? I thought we were... I'm asking the president, Miss Morgana. Red line for Mr. Richter. Don't put the blame on somebody else. The court's been stopping every constitutional change. I don't like 1 or 4. I don't like those options. The court has been stopping every constitutional change, Mrs. Edmonds. So that is your position, I see. I don't know the same, Mr. President. These changes are one thing, but they're also your political view. But there's also your political view. I don't want to hand a victory to a Malavist. I'm no Malianvist. So you're no fan of Maliev. Maliniev. Who cares if you're, Okay, so you're no fan of Maliev. Who cares if you're into Chancellor Hegel's Vaxland socialism or Swordist socialism or Bernard Circus? It's all Carlos Garcia's socioeconomically in the end. You're playing with fire, Mr. President. Nia suddenly cut in. If we were to come back to the point of unifying against the old guard, I want the old guard to go as much as you, but I'm torn about this proposal. Please, I don't think she really likes the reforms. Please, Mrs. Edmonds, we need your help. Mr. President, I'm also wondering, if you were in Seoul's position, how do you have structured Supreme Court? What do you believe is its role? I mean, this is what the Supreme Courts usually do. Definitely not an advisory body. The court protects the Constitution. It must have the power of judicial review and to strike down laws that are against the Constitution. So what do you think about judicial review? It plays an essential role in ensuring that each branch of government recognizes the limits of its own power. Precisely. I'm glad that we agree on that. Isabel went to finish to remain her salad. So, Miss Edmonds, what are you thinking? I want to help you, Miss Morgana, but if I can give you the powers to impeach us today, what's going to happen tomorrow? Can you even give me a guarantee that this will not result in destruction of the court? I mean, I can't. Isn't it like a 66% vote that you need? Like that's a very, very high bar to get. So I don't think you'd be impeached that easily. Central has nothing to worry about. I mean, I can't. It's like is it not 66%? You have nothing to worry. I mean, they can't. Well, I actually had to say this too. I'm actually really surprised that the proposal is abolishing a member of honor title. I support that part. Tell me, are you planning to put Sol on trial? I have no such plans. The important thing here is you'll be a regular Sworded citizen. I see. I also like that the proposal includes term limits. That's another good point. Anyway, I don't have much else to say. So you decided then? Let's see. This vote means a lot. Yeah, let's make ourselves like grovel at her feet. Please, please, Isabel, this vote means a lot to us. Okay, let me finish, Mr. President. I think I can get behind the proposal. You think? Yes. I think I can get you the votes you need. I'll do my best to convince my group, but I can only speak for myself. Thank you. It's great to hear that you'll support us. Thank you. I see that we're all finished with our meals too. I think it's time to conclude this meeting. Thank you for inviting me, Mr. President. Thank you for coming. She stood up and shook my hand. Thank you for the meeting, Mrs. Edmonds. Likewise. Isabel took her coat and walked downstairs. Dee and I looked at each other. That's good news. That's great news. After a few minutes of thoughtful silence, we got up from seats and left the restaurant. It was a good start, but I was still uncertain if Isabel would be enough. I got in the presidential Kalia, and Sergei started driving me home. Overall, I think that seems pretty good. You do got some events here in Elroy. Nothing else right now, so we'll do like maybe one more. Reach out to Justin Heron. You're not part of the old guard, right? No, are you? Wait. Political overview. Judiciary. No, you are the leader of the old guard. Do not bribe him. Do not bribe him. Send Lucian. Don't send Nia. I don't think he likes Nia very much. The announcement of the Supreme Court decision. Okay. Back at the office, I'm eagerly waiting for the decision of the Supreme Court regarding our change to the Constitution. I stood up on my chair and looked out the window. Peter and Pascal were there with me. Peter was slouching in the couch at the right side of the office and staring at the ceiling, while Pascal sat across from me. He was also eagerly waiting the results. The whole process was tough on all my team. We were constantly battling with the opposition against constitutional change. After doing whatever we can about the justices, we had nothing more to do but wait for them to cast their vote. What do you think, Anton? Do you think we'll make history today? I hope so. I do not know. So do you trust Isabel to bring the votes? I don't know, but we have to hope for the best. Peter stares at the ceiling. My real worry is Heron. I think we need his vote. But anyway, we'll learn about the vote soon. The session is already underway. By the way, what time is it? I looked at the tall case clock in the room. It was already 20 past 11. The court's voting session was scheduled to end in 10 minutes. 20 past. We got about 10 minutes. Okay, so we'll hear soon about the results then. But anyway, he rose from his starting position and stretched. I don't know if you've noticed, but recently Castro has been very popular in the assembly. He's been getting a large amount of support from our party and has been leading in a lot of bills, some of which are already reached you. What do you think? What do you make of it? I think he's a very dangerous man, Anton. We can't let him divide our party. I agree. We have to watch him closely. His party only holds 40 seats, Anton, yet he manages to pass bills. That man is trouble. Maybe we shouldn't allow our party to be so generous with what they support. Suddenly, Olivia enters the room. Her hands was a large object shaped in straw paper. Good to see you, Mr. President and Mr. Benny Wool. Am I interrupting you? No, please come in. Is there a problem? The Chief Justice sent you this. She showed me the wrapped object. Really? From Orso Hawker? Bring it here. She walked to the table and gave it to me. I immediately started to remove the wrapper and reveal a framed photograph. It was a black and white photograph of Tarkan Sol posing on a destroyed tank on Hustler Square. The building behind him was thousands of bullets and holes on it. With a clearly readable slogan, "Victory is close," written on the walls. The date, 22nd of May, 1929, was written in the corner of the black marker. I turned to Olivia. Thanks, Livia. You may go now. Livia turned to leave. Hi, Livia. Noticed Peter on the couch. Livia reddened slightly. She waved, which Peter returned. Mr. Vice President, I'll be leaving now. As soon as she left the room, Peter came next to me to look at the photograph. Oh, a nice present. Oh, it's definitely a message. What do you think? What is it? Victory will be close, huh? Orso's getting ahead of himself. Suddenly, Lucien rushed into the room. Mr. President, the vote is concluded. We immediately grouped up around Lucien. The Constitution change was rejected with 6 justices voting against the proposal. God damn it. Damn old guards. We failed. I mean, there's 5 old guards. One of the sentrants. Okay. The damn old guards. We failed. I mean, what do we do now? I'll talk to the cabinet to arrange a meeting immediately. We have to plan our next steps. This failure will not reflect good on the public or the assembly. Arrange the meeting immediately. Right away, sir. All of us immediately got to work to plan our next steps after this failure. Well, that's not good at all. Supreme Court stands against change. It had a 90%. Okay. So that's fantastic. Maybe I should have bribed him. But I think that at least for right now, this is going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So thanks everybody for watching. My name is Anthnwam. If you've enjoyed, remember to thumbs up. Not enjoying, thumbs down. You want to see more, subscribe. And goodbye.